This is CBN Newswatch.
Thanks for joining us for CBN Newswatch. I'm Wendy Griffith. Turkey's military operation in Syria is underway. This comes 3 days after President Trump ordered U.S. troops to withdraw. Turkey's president announced the start of the operation this morning, saying he planned to, quote, eliminate the threat of terrorism in the country. Meanwhile, American lawmakers and Christian leaders are calling on the church to pray for the Kurds, longtime U.S. allies in the region. Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted, quote, pray for our Kurdish allies who have been shamelessly abandoned by the Trump administration. He added this move ensures the re-emergence of ISIS. And joining us now is Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell. Chris, what are you hearing from the Turkish point of view? How do they see this?
Well, I think that's a very important point of view to understand, Wendy. Many of them see this as a jihad. There was something in a pro-AKP, which is the party of President Erdogan, that said that the army of Mohammed is coming after the unbelievers. So they say this as a jihad, which actually sadly puts the U.S. in the position of actually enabling a jihad. U.S. forces had pulled out of some of that region, not totally, but to allow this invasion. And they're bombing some Christian villages. I was just hearing from somebody that we met in Kobani, which is right on the Turkish border, that they are hearing the bombing. And actually, they understand that the Turkish government has shut off phones in that region. So they really have very little way to get out to the outside world.
Chris, Senator Lindsey Graham says this move ensures the reemergence of ISIS. Do you agree with that?
I do. You know, what the Syrian Democratic Forces have been saying is that they can't do both. They can't both fight Turkey and actually maintain the thousands of prisoners they have in captivity. Now, President Trump just put out a tweet that said, or a statement that said, Turkey's going to take care of the ISIS prisoners. Though many of those prisoners are not even close to the Syrian border. So the Syrian Democratic Forces said they may send them to Iraq, which will reignite this whole battle against ISIS.
Now, President Trump says he's going to somehow protect the Kurds. How do you do that if Turkey's coming in with tanks and bullets?
I just don't know how you do that, Wendy. It just seems counterintuitive. You know, Turkey is bombing these Christian villages coming in and yet protecting them. And it also puts the U.S. troops in the region very close to this fighting in the awkward position of actually watching what many people consider war crimes. I mean, Turkey hasn't been invaded. They haven't been fought by the Kurdish forces there or the Syrian Democratic Forces, and yet Turkey's coming against them. So the U.S. troops are in this awful position of being close, but in literally witnessing what can be defined as war crimes by some.
Chris, tell us about the new prayer initiative for the Kurds. A lot of people saying we've got to pray right now. Right.
It's called prayforthekurds.org. It's a one-night event, October 27th in Washington, D.C. You can go to the website right now, but actually you don't need to wait till October 27th. It's important to pray for the Kurds and all of the people in northeast Syria right now who are in great peril at this time.
And Chris, of course, you're there in Jerusalem. What does this mean for Israel?
It puts Israel in peril as well, because if the Turkey comes in and if events unfold, which perhaps allow the Iranians to come in to that part of northeast Syria, that's going to put them that much closer to Israel. Their goal is to have a land bridge from Tehran all the way to the Mediterranean. So potentially this is a great, great danger to Israel as well.
And I know today everything is shut down there. It's Yom Kippur. So we wish you, it's not happy Yom Kippur, but I believe it's called a good ending.
That's right.
A good ending.
You have a good fast, and also may your name be inscribed in the book. That's what people are saying right now.
All right, beautiful. Chris, great to talk with you. Thanks so much for your insight. Well, 2 people were killed in shooting attacks on a synagogue and a kebab shop in eastern Germany today, and it happened on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year for Jews. Dale Hurd has the story.
This video from German public broadcaster MDR showed a man in a helmet and wearing camouflage getting out of a car and firing. Authorities say 2 men in military gear tried to enter a synagogue in Halle with between 70 and 80 people inside, but were stopped by security. One shooting took place in front of the synagogue. A suspect also threw a bomb into a nearby Jewish cemetery. A man was killed in a Turkish kebab shop, and a woman died on a street close to the synagogue. This eyewitness saw a man wearing a helmet and military clothes throw an explosive and then raise his gun and start shooting. One person was arrested, but police believe at least one other may have fled the area in a vehicle. There was also gunfire reported in a nearby city. In Germany last year, violent attacks against Jews almost doubled. For the first time since the Nazi regime, Jewish leaders have been warning that it's too dangerous to wear the kippah or Jewish cap in some areas.
And me, myself, I wouldn't wear a kippah. Unfortunately, it's not safe.
Jews in Germany face a deadly threat from both neo-Nazis and radical Muslims. Muslims in Germany outnumber Jews 50-1. And this German Jewish leader says the threat to Jews is far worse than the government will admit.
They are playing it on. They're lying. They have no other word. They are lying about it. So there are lots of excuses, and the situation gets worse every day.
Police gave no information about the suspect in custody or why police think the attack may have been carried out by multiple assailants. Federal prosecutors who handle cases involving terrorism or national security have taken over the investigation. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Thanks, Dale. The White House and House Democrats head toward a showdown over the impeachment inquiry. The administration says Congress needs to hold a vote to launch an official inquiry. That would also give Republicans the opportunity to say they should have subpoena power like they have in past impeachments. In an 8-page letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the White House declared it will not cooperate with the Democrats' impeachment probe. They say it violates constitutionally mandated due process. Pelosi and Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff called the White House move obstruction of justice. Democrats also issued a subpoena for Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, after the State Department directed him not to testify to the committee Tuesday. Sondland is of interest because of what he knew about the investigation into Joe Biden and his son and the holdup of aid to Ukraine.
We know from the text messages that Ambassador Sondland was in discussion with Ukrainian counterparts, with fellow diplomatic personnel, and the president, as well as at least one U.S. senator, about the course of events that we are investigating.
What we see in this impeachment is a kangaroo court, and Chairman Schiff is acting like a malicious Captain Kangaroo.
And the Washington Examiner reports the whistleblower who set off the impeachment inquiry has professional ties to a Democratic candidate who hopes to defeat Trump in the 2020 election. Well, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver does not appear to be caving in his stand for freedom of speech after a tweet in support of Hong Kong protesters offended Chinese leaders. Gary Lane has that story.
China's state television threatened to stop airing and streaming NBA games across the country, with an estimated 800 million fans of the game normally watching. It all started when Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey tweeted his support for the Hong Kong demonstrators. And NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said the NBA won't regulate players, employees, and team owners. The Rockets' James Harden, who's considered one of the best shooting guards in the NBA, supports the commissioner's stand.
We all have freedom of speech. That's the world we live in. You know, everybody should, how they feel and their thought process, be able to speak it. You know, obviously some people are going to feel some type of way, some people are going to agree. That's just the world we live in. I'm here for Adam Silver.
The original tweet has been deleted by Morey, and Silver says he regrets what's happened since, but he still stands for freedom of expression. The league risks losing $4 billion if its games aren't aired on Chinese television.
Thank you, Gary. Autumn has just begun, but people are bracing for bitter cold in the central stretch of the United States. Forecasters predict a severe snowstorm could hit the region in the next few days. Denver and Minneapolis could see their first snow of the season, and the north central Rockies into the northern plains could see as much as 12 inches. Winter storm warnings and watches are widespread from Idaho to Minnesota. In California, the state's biggest utility shut off power to more than 1 million people in an effort to prevent more wildfires. It's the most sweeping effort in state history to prevent fires caused by wind-blown power lines. The move comes after 2 years of catastrophic fires sent Pacific and Gas Electric into bankruptcy. Electricity could be shut off for days. Well, still ahead, a major warning about a popular drug used to treat heartburn. Hear why retailers are pulling it off the shelves, and you can learn more about other treatment options. Stay tuned.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
It has the power to influence weight loss, boost your immune system, and improve brain function.
We've seen an explosion of data on the role of the gut microbiome in health.
The free Build a Better Gut booklet reveals the latest information about the gut microbiome. You'll discover how your gut affects the rest of your health.
The gut microbiome has been linked to depression and cancer and heart disease.
Learn how to build a stronger, healthier gut.
The microbiome, if it's in good composition, are really protecting us all the time from more invasive things.
Get the Build a Better Gut booklet, free from the Christian Broadcasting Network. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com/buildabettergut.
You need to make sure that your microbes are working with you, not against you.
And if you order online, you'll get immediate access to the Build a Better Gut series, a digital copy of the booklet, and related bonus material. Build a Better Gut today. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com/buildabettergut for your free copy.
Here, we're committed to a heritage of rigorous scholarship dating back over 1,000 years.
And to a faith tradition dating back 1,000 more.
This is how we create a culture of inquiry where no topic is off limits.
And a culture of hope.
Anything's possible!
It's Christian leadership.
And it's changing the world for the better.
It's higher learning.
It's greater knowing.
It's what makes us whole.
It's what makes us Regent.
It has the power to influence weight loss, boost your immune system, and improve brain function.
We've seen an explosion of data on the role of the gut microbiome in health.
The free Build a Better Gut booklet reveals the latest information about the gut microbiome. You'll discover how your gut affects the rest of your health.
The gut microbiome has been linked to depression and cancer and heart disease.
Learn how to build a stronger, healthier gut.
The microbiome, if it's in good composition, are really protecting us all the time from more invasive things.
Get the Build a Better Gut booklet, free from the Christian Broadcasting Network. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com/buildabettergut.
You need to make sure that your microbes are working with you, not against you.
And if you order online, you'll get immediate access to the Build a Better Gut series, a digital copy of the booklet, and related bonus material. Build a Better Gut today. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com/buildabettergut for your free copy.
Welcome back. Zantac is a popular pill used to treat heartburn, and new research that it could be linked to cancer is prompting retailers to pull it off their shelves. Our health reporter Lori Johnson is here now to break it down, why some say it could be cancer-causing and why some other pills in your medicine cabinet might be putting you in danger as well. First of all, let's talk about Zantac. What's the risk here?
So Zantac is no longer being sold at the most popular pharmacies. We're talking about Walmart, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and if you have Zantac at home, you can take it back to those stores and they'll give you a refund. So what is the concern? The FDA said that they have found this substance called NDMA, which is linked to cancer, and it appears that Zantac in its generic form breaks down to NDMA. So that's the concern. So they're not really concerned about all heartburn medications. So if you really love Zantac and you're really want to get another heartburn medication, you can switch to something else. But a lot of my sources, my very reliable sources, say really we should stick away from heartburn medications altogether, especially the PPIs, the proton pump inhibitors. And these are things like Prilosec and Prevacid. And the reason is these PPIs have been linked to really awful things like kidney, bone problems, heart problems, because it turns out PPI stands for proton pump inhibitors. It turns out we need our proton pumps throughout our body.
Right.
So we really don't want to take these if we can avoid taking them.
So Lori, what are some other ways that we can treat heartburn?
Well, heartburn is when the acid from your stomach gets up into your esophagus, and it's really terrible.
Right.
And there's a little muscle that prevents that from happening, and when this muscle is pressed on, that's when it happens. So we have to stop pressing on it. When I was pregnant, I had terrible heartburn because I had a 10-pound baby pushing on my stomach and that little muscle, and the acid from my stomach was coming up into my heartburn. It was awful. So what we need to do is stop having things press on our stomach like fat. So one of the best ways, or pregnancy, one of the best ways to not have heartburn is to lose weight.
Lose weight.
Also, don't wear tight clothes that push on your stomach.
Thanks.
Yeah, that don't eat a lot, and by that I mean don't eat huge meals, because that causes that muscle to open up and have. So if you're intent on eating the same amount of meals, the same amount of food, just have a lot of smaller meals. Also, don't eat within 3 hours before bed.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
You want to elevate yourself, and they say that pillows really don't do the job, so you want to raise up the part of your bed probably about 6 inches, so that you're sort of elevated, or if you have one of those beds that elevates a little bit, one of those adjustable beds, you want to be sort of on an incline. All those things will help heartburn, and they say that ginger and licorice root are also some natural ways to reduce heartburn.
I've been eating a lot of ginger and drinking ginger tea too.
I know. I'm so proud of you. You're like the picture. You're doing all the things that I say to do.
Yes, you wouldn't believe what a resource she is for us. Well, what other medicines, Lori, could be in our medicine cabinet that we should, be wary of that could cause long-term serious effects?
Right. Things that are over the counter. Everybody thinks over the counter, OTC drugs, they've got to be safe because they just sell them over the counter. Not so. NSAIDs are very problematic. NSAIDs, which are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like Advil and Aleve. These have been linked to some very serious problems like leaky gut, where the Advil and the Aleve, because these have been shown to cause bleeding in the stomach, and that they can deteriorate the gut lining, and important things that should stay in your intestines get out into your bloodstream. The immune system sees them as invaders, and it can cause autoimmune problems. So these are NSAIDs, and so people say, well, how can I lower inflammation without taking the anti-inflammatories? An anti-inflammatory diet. The most inflammatory foods that we need to cut out are the ones we love the best, sugar and processed foods. But also fish oil is a very anti-inflammatory, and so we need to try to take fish oil as well.
I've gotten to where I don't even take anything for headaches anymore. I'm so afraid of the side effects. I'd rather just get through the pain and then be okay. Lori, thank you so much. Great advice.
My pleasure.
Well, filmmaker Tyler Perry is making history with the unveiling of his massive production studio in Atlanta. We're going to check that out next, and we'll break down first what's ahead for Perry.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com. Want to be a part of a community that inspires your spiritual growth while winning prizes? The all-new MyCBN app. Connect with the community for prayer and encouragement. Track and set spiritual goals. Enjoy conversation starters with friends and family. And collect points to win prizes. The all-new MyCBN app. A great place to belong. Download the app at cbn.com/mobile. Grow, connect, have fun. The all-new MyCBN app.
Watch breaking news, in-depth exclusive stories and programs, from health to entertainment you won't find anywhere else. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. Enjoy credible news reporting from around the world. Discover inspiring programs and stories of hope, all in one place from a Christian perspective. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. Check your local listings or visit cbnnewschannel.com.
Come home to the sounds of Southern Gospel from CBN Radio. You'll enjoy a rich Southern blend of bluegrass, classic gospel, and Southern gospel favorites like the Gaithers, the Crabb Family, and bluegrass sounds like Mountain Faith. So make yourself at home with the all-new CBN Southern Gospel, now available at cbnradio.com.
I am Region's first ROTC graduate student.
Media mogul Tyler Perry unveiled his massive Atlanta studio this week. It sits on a sprawling 300 acres and has a dozen sound stages. Tyler Perry Studios is bigger than Warner Brothers, Disney, and Paramount combined. Perry held a star-studded celebration in Atlanta to celebrate the occasion. It's a history-making move for the man Hollywood has often ignored.
I want it to feel like inspiration for everybody that's here. There are a lot of people here that I feel like have incredible dreams and are movers and shakers in life. And I feel like if they can leave here the way I left the Oprah's Legends Ball, it's going to be incredible.
And joining me now for why this is such a big deal, and it is, and what we can look forward to from Tyler Perry Studios, is entertainment reporter Ephraim Graham. Ephraim, thanks for being with us today.
Good to be here. Thank you.
You know, this is so huge. And why do you think this is such an accomplishment for Perry?
Well, you know, symbolic. First off, the studio is actually on 300 acres that were actually a former Confederate battle facility.
Oh, you were kidding.
So yeah, so that alone, and now a black man now owns this, and he owns it outright. You know, how many times can we say we actually know the person who owns a production facility? Usually it's, you know, it's a company, it's several people. No, one man, Tyler Perry, owns this, and he's the first black man to do this.
Now, he says he's often ignored in Hollywood, and I find that hard to believe because I watch everything he does. I think he's amazing. Why do you think that he says that?
I think that people pay attention to him, and of course his fans and those of us who know him, we follow him and love him. But if you think about it, Tyler Perry's not really been nominated for Emmys, no nominations for Oscars. But here's what he also says. He goes that, you know, I realize that they don't necessarily get what I do. They don't necessarily understand. So even the characters in his films, they're unique and rare by Hollywood standards.
There's always redemption.
Always, always.
Even when it's hilarious. And
indeed,
like
indeed.
with Medea, and I was telling you earlier, my favorite movie of his is The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. If you haven't seen that one, you got to see it. And Medea, well, what project? I know Medea that's done, right?
That is done. Medea still comes around for promotion's sake, but as far as movies with Medea or plays with Medea, that's retired. What I can tell you right now is he's already, of course, at work in the studios. He rents out the facility as well. Parts of Black Panther were shot at the studio. People may not realize it's actually been up and running, not to full capacity for the last 3 or 4 years, but now everything is actually complete. So there is a series he's shooting right now called The Oval. That's why there's a replica of the White House actually on Tyler Perry Studios, because that's shot there for BET. Of course, he's got series that run now on OWN, as well as other outlets, and he's got a new streaming deal with BET as well. So there are lots of things in production, but something that's not a film or not entertainment is something I'm really honored to see that he's going to do. His next project is he wants a compound on the facility for women who are trafficked and people who are thrown away, because he wants to give them a safe place to be, and then he wants to train them on how to be filmmakers and storytellers themselves. But it comes with a mandate. I'm giving this to you. You've got to now pay it forward when you get out there and become successful.
That is huge, and that is something that you wouldn't see on any other movie studio
you got
anywhere.
That right. You got that
Congratulations to him. Thanks for filling us in.
Pleasure.
And you can see more uplifting entertainment stories like this on Studio 5 on the CBN News Channel. That's tonight at 9:30 Eastern. This week, Ephraim takes you inside the story of one of the new stars of the NBC series The Voice, and he sits down with the daughter of Bishop T.D. Jakes, who has a new book called Ferocious Warrior. Again, that's tonight at 9:30. Well, stay with us. There is much more of CBN Newswatch ahead.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
On October 1st, 1961, history was made when a tiny station began transmitting the first signals of the Christian Broadcasting Network.
CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network.
And now, a new era has begun with the all-new CBN News Channel.
Just moments ago, the Iron Dome intercepted an incoming rocket right on the Gaza border.
Administering in this area, spiritual warfare is definitely involved.
A 24/7 news network, bringing you the news you want from a source you can trust.
In Kenya, 40% of the medical services are actually provided by these Christian hospitals.
Let's talk about the economy.
Believers here are joining together to win people to Jesus Christ.
All your favorite shows now in one place. Go to CBNNewsChannel.com to find out how to get the CBN News Channel on your TV all day, every day. CBN News.
It has the power to influence weight loss, boost your immune system, and improve brain function.
We've seen an explosion of data on the role of the gut microbiome in health.
The free Build a Better Gut booklet reveals the latest information about the gut microbiome. You'll discover how your gut affects the rest of your health.
The gut microbiome has been linked to depression and cancer and heart disease.
Learn how to build a stronger, healthier gut.
The microbiome, if it's in good composition, are really protecting us all the time from more invasive things.
Get the Build a Better Gut booklet, free from the Christian Broadcasting Network. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com/buildabettergut.
You need to make sure that your microbes are working with you, not against you.
And if you order online, you'll get immediate access to the Build a Better Gut series, a digital copy of the booklet, and related bonus material. Build a Better Gut today. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com/buildabettergut for your free copy.
Depending on where you live, you might be able to catch a show in the sky tonight. The Southern Torrid meteor shower will light up the sky this evening. Take a look at this map from AccuWeather to see if you might have a chance to see it. The Southern Torrids usually produce bright fireballs that can compete with the moon's lights. Pretty. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of CBN Newswatch. Remember, you can find more of our news programs on the CBN News Channel anytime or online with CBNNews.com. Also, tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here today by emailing us at newswatch@cbn.com or talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We hope you'll join us next time.